Hey guys, Joshua's Boosters here. I'm back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video today, and today we're actually doing something I'm not doing a lot, which will be a deck profile, actually, from locals first place, right, Ryan?
Yes. Yesterday evening we had another locals at Card Guild, remote duel, of course, and I managed to take first place.
Okay, and well, I obviously wouldn't be showing this if the deck wasn't at least somewhat interesting. So tell us, Ryan, what is the deck you were playing?
It's my favorite tier 4 deck. It's Dark Magicians. Still, after all this time.
Okay, so Dark Magicians, I mean, not exactly the most meta of decks. I'm assuming you're not playing Virtual World Dark Magician or Drytron Dark Magician, so...
No, funnily enough, this week my Dogmatica package finally arrived, so I really was hyped to play Dogmatica Dark
Yeah.
Magician, and I gave it a run for one locals, and it was terrible. The theory was nice because you don't need your extra deck every turn, but
Yeah.
still, Dogmatica punishments blocking you out of the extra deck hurt more than I had expected. So I went back to pure, and that went a lot better.
Well, I mean, I guess before we go into the actual deck profile, is there anything like you want to say about the deck or any shoutouts you want to give? Because if you do it at the end, people are just gonna click away, so might as well do it now.
Yeah, I guess shoutouts to the two stores that I'm playing remote dual locals at almost every week, which is Card Guild, Hilversum, and Lara's TCG Corner, Lanake. Yeah, it really got me into playing remote duels. And in times like this, it's nice to have something to do in the evenings. So
For sure, yeah, I get that.
about this deck, I would tell people to have realistic expectations. Like the virtual world matchup is not in your favorite. In your favor, the Drytron matchup is not in your favor. So prepare to lose against the meta. But anything tier 2 or lower, you should be able to manage, handle.
At least win, okay. Well, I
Win
guess
a
let's
few.
just dive into the deck then.
Okay, so here's the title of Dark Magician. We'll play more, but I just want to have him showing.
I
One
get
of the
that, yeah.
real best cards of the deck is really Magician's Rod. For those who don't know him, on normal summon, he searches for any spell or trap with Dark Magician specifically in the card text. So that's a lot of cards, except Eye of Timaeus. Yeah, he's basically the normal summon that you want to have in the deck. There's one more normal summon in the deck, but we'll get to him
I
when
think
we
the
need
rod
to.
also has like a graveyard effect, right? Does that come up a lot, or it's just not that
Yes,
relevant?
especially in the grind games. I'll tell you what he does. During your opponent's turn, when he's in the graveyard and you activate a spell, a trap, or effect of a spell or trap, you can tribute a spellcaster to add him back from your graveyard to your hand, which has really nice synergy with this card, uh, Eternal Soul, because this lets you special summon Dark Magician from your hand or
Yeah.
grave once per turn during either player's turn. So there was this game where it was really grindy against Mech Knight, and I was in control of the duel because he kept top decking, but every turn in his end phase, I could trigger Eternal Soul to special summon Dark Magician
Yeah.
back, tribute this Dark Magician to add back Rod from the graveyard, and just
Yeah,
normal
that makes
summon him
sense.
every turn. It's,
And then you get a +1 every
yeah.
turn, basically, for the summon effect, right? Sounds pretty good, yeah?
Yes. The real best card of the deck is Magician Souls. Obviously, he's not only good in spirals, he's also amazing in Dark Magician,
Makes sense.
as you might have thought. Besides the obvious effects, sending the spellcaster to special summon himself, you can also special summon Dark Magician from the graveyard, which
Right,
doesn't come
yeah.
up a whole lot, but it does come up enough to make it relevant. And then his other effect, where you send spells and traps to the graveyard to draw cards, is also pretty good because there's a certain card that you really want to have in the graveyard.
Okay, yeah, that sounds logical.
Yeah. So the best targets for Rod are your Dark Magical Circle, which is Pot of Duality on activation. You get to add a Dark Magician card from one of the cards that you add. Well, a Dark Magician or a spell or trap with Dark Magician in the text.
Yeah.
But by far my favorite card in this build is Soul Servant. This has two effects. The first effect is not once per turn, and you get to stack one card from your deck or your graveyard on top of your deck. That lists Dark Magician in the text, of
Yeah, okay,
course,
that
which
sounds
can
logical.
include one of the monsters. So very often you'll place souls on top if you have access to another form of draw power. And yeah, and the other effect is that you get to banish it from your graveyard once per turn during your own turn. To draw a card for every Dark Magician Girl, Palladium Oracle, Mana, or Mahat in your field or graveyard. So, of course, I'm playing targets for that. I'm playing triple Dark Magician,
Yeah.
of course. And one of Dark Magician Girl, controversial, I know. She should probably be the Palladium Oracle Mana, because it has an additional effect. This just has attack points. No, there is actually a reason for playing Dark Magician Girl. There's this extra deck monster, the Dark Magicians. And when
Yeah.
it's destroyed, you can special summon both of them if you have both of them in your hand, field, and or graveyard.
Okay, and you can only trigger it
So
if you have both, I assume, right?
yes, you can't just say I'll just special summon the Dark Magician.
Okay, exactly.
It has to be exactly these monsters. Palladium Oracle Mana is not Dark Magician Girl, so you wouldn't be able to special summon her. But yeah, being able to draw 2 cards of Soul Servant is excellent. It wins you the grind games if you manage to get into a grind game.
Yeah, that makes
As
sense.
I said before, I really like stacking Magician Souls on top with Soul Servants. So we play some draw cards to be able to actually get to the top of your deck.
Yeah.
So obviously we're playing 1 Upstart Goblin,
Pretty good card.
2 Allure of Darkness.
Why only 2
Yeah,
of Allure of Darkness?
that's a good question. The thing is, you have a lot of monsters in your deck that you don't want to have in your hand, but you also don't want to keep banishing monsters from your hand. Like it's pretty self-explanatory that you need at least some sort of Dark Magician in play.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of cards in the meta that can banish Dark Magician. So if you're ever at a point where you have to activate 3 Allure of Darkness and you banish 3 Dark Magicians,
You
or
can't win the
even if
game.
you just played 2 and you banish 2 Dark Magicians, it's not a win condition, but you need it to play. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
And also, I found 2 to be enough. There's probably cards I could cut to play the 3rd Allure of Darkness if I really wanted to go down the faster, more aggressive route. But as for now, 2 seems fine.
Okay.
For additional draw power, we play a little spellbook package. The 1 Blue Boy, which is the extra normal summon I was talking about.
Yeah.
1 Knowledge and 1 Secrets. I play 3 and exactly 3 spellbooks to make Crowley the first prophecy alive.
Yeah.
So for the people who weren't playing in 2012, Spellbook of Secrets adds any spellbook card. Blue Boy, when he's normal summoned or flipped face up, which used to be pretty relevant,
For sure.
adds any spellbook card as well. And Knowledge, it's basically the 3rd Allure of Darkness. Except you have to discard a spellbook card or a spellcaster from your field, which is a lot of the times Blue Boy, but it can also be Magician's Rod. Or if you have like this in hand, you can use the Knowledge to discard the secrets. Or if you have this, you can use the Knowledge to discard the Blue Boy.
Yeah, exactly. So in this deck, it actually isn't that bad to just draw the Knowledge without the other cards, right? Because you can just send like a spellcaster on your field.
Yes, which there's actually some pretty good extenders that I was going to talk about, but play double Jester Confit and double Apprentice Illusion Magicians, which are both. Well, Jester is a free special summon, or Apprentice Illusion, you have to discard a card to special summon her, but she adds Dark Magician from the deck to your hands, which kind of compensates for that. And yeah, let's talk about Crowley. When he's link summoned, he requires 2 spellcasters, so all of these cards are spellcasters, which is pretty good. You get to reveal 3 spellbooks from your deck, exactly 3, and one of them is randomly added to your hand. So if you haven't done your normal summon yet, and you get the Blue Boy, you summon the Blue Boy, obviously. But if you get one of the spells, you can just tribute off the Crowley to draw cards.
Yeah. That makes sense.
He has an extra effect that almost never comes up, but when it comes up, it's so sweet. You get to normal summon level 5 or higher spellcasters without tributes while you have Crowley on the field.
So
if you ever wanted to,
no,
I didn't. I guess it comes up in pure spellbooks because you can normal summon your priestess and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Ask Max van Everseel about that. He should know all about the spellbooks. why do I play extenders? It's not just for Crowley, but there's this really cool Link 2 monster that you want to summon.
Yeah, I assumed this was coming.
Predaplant Birthday Anaconda. Oh, of course, yeah. There will be people in the comment section saying, "Hey, he's playing the Dark Magician Boss Monster Fusion, so it's not a Dark Magician deck." But yeah, we are playing, of course, some more anime cards. Get your inner Joey out. Of course, you'll be using the Verte Anaconda to send the Red Ice Fusion, and then you send the Red Ice and a Dark Magician,
Yep.
which is really nice because it puts a Dark Magician from your deck in the graveyard. I play less bricks than the other decks because for me, Dark Magician isn't really a brick.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
something that is really cool when you have any monster along with Magician Souls, and you have, where is it, under this pile of cards, Soul Servant in play. You can use Magician Souls to send Dark Magician Girl. Red Eyes Fusion sends Dark Magician. And then you have both of your names, so you get to draw 2 cards with
I
Soul
get it.
Servant.
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, drawing 2 cards is pretty good.
I mean, summoning like the most generic boss monster of the game and then drawing 2 cards is like.
Yeah, we're playing 2 of them, even though we're
Okay.
playing only 1 Red Eyes and 1 Red Eyes Fusion, but there is a way. We're also playing the Secrets of Dark Magic, which is a quick play fusion or ritual spell, but you have to use Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl as a material. So you might be thinking, hey, you're not playing any other dragons, but I am playing another dragon. It's Imduk, the World Chalice Dragon.
Throwback.
He's a throwback for the extra normal summons of the World Legacy monsters. No,
Exactly.
you play him because he's a dragon. That's the main thing. He also has this other effect where he destroys any monster he battles with that he's pointing to, and he points up. So almost never comes up. But he's a dragon. He requires a normal monster that is not a token, sadly. But yeah, it sometimes comes up that you can bring out the second Dragoons. But of course, we wouldn't be playing Secrets without the Dark Magicians. It's a semi-generic fusion. You have to use one of the original Dark Magician monsters and any spellcaster with it. And it's pretty neat, actually, because once per turn, when a spell or trap or effect triggers, after it resolves, you get to draw a card. And if it's a spell or trap, you can set it and activate it that turn.
Okay.
So
That's pretty interesting.
technically, you should be drawing. Yeah, you should be drawing 1 card with this every turn if it lives past 1 turn. But it's technically 3 pluses.
Which
also,
are
it
pretty
triggers
nice in
off the
Yu-Gi-Oh!
effects of. Yeah, definitely. It also triggers off the effects of spells or traps, not just the activations. So if you have this in your grave and you summon out your the Dark Magicians, you can banish Soul Servant to draw 2, and then trigger the Dark Magicians and draw a 3rd card. It's pretty good.
That's insane, actually. Imagine like Drytron or something having effects like this, where you just draw 3 cards per turn.
Yeah, they really need more support, I think. Like an Exis monster would help out the deck tremendously. But yeah, this is way slower. But yeah, you have those late game niche advantage generating stuff. But yeah, if the opponent just blows you out early game, you're pretty much out of competition. How do you say it?
I get that. But I think what's really good about this deck, though, is like you have really easy access to basically all the cards, right? Because like
yeah,
a lot of the
it's
cards
not
are
uncommon
searchable.
to. And you turbo through a lot of stuff, and a lot of things are searchable or stackable if you're hard of the cards, which is pretty good. Look at this pile. I'm making a mess. We're also playing Triple Eternal Soul. Pretty interesting card. It's the best card of the deck, and it's the worst card of the deck. So it has like 17 effects. The first effect is that Dark Magician, the vanilla, is unaffected by your opponent's card effects while you have this out. The second effect is that once per turn, you can choose between effects. The most relevant is to summon Dark Magician from your hand or graveyard. Or you get to search your deck for Dark Magic Attack or Thousand Knives. Dark Magic Attack, I used to side deck it actually before we had like Feather Duster and Lightning Storm and all that fancy stuff, because Dark Magic Attack is basically Harpy's Feather Duster, which is searchable in an archetype that's competent, you know.
Before we did
also
this
it has
video,
this.
I was actually thinking about like whether you would side Dark Magic Attack or not. I was like, is it in his deck? But sadly, it is not.
No, it wasn't my deck when I started actually taking it to regionals, which was, I think, late 2018. I know I played the Dutch Open with this. That was my first regional with the deck, and I played YCS London with it. And you can imagine how well that went.
I
4-4.
assumed you bubbled
It's
out like.
decent. I bubbled. I almost made day 2. To be fair, 4 wins at a YCS, where stuff like Sky Striker and Salamangreat is meta, I can't complain really. Oh yeah, also when it dies, everything dies.
Yeah,
When it
I
leaves the
know
field
that.
while it's face up, it destroys your monster lineup. Not everybody knows that, but I'm a nice guy and I tell people when they ask what does Eternal Soul do. And we also play some non-Dark Magician cards, double Cosmic Cyclone in the main, because there's a lot of stuff that you want to hit, like the Virtual World Continuous Trap card. What's it called? Chuchi? That's really annoying. That's the main reason the matchup is so difficult. VFD, I can live with that, but trap cards that destroy once per turn, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Also play some trap cards of my own. Solemn Strike is really good this format.
For sure, I agree.
I noticed. Then what might be the second best trap of the format is Ice Dragon's Prison.
Also very good card.
This can do so many things. Yeah, Paleozoic players kill me with this card, so I was like, I have to get in on this. And then yesterday in finals, I had to play against what do I call the deck? Phantom Knights with a lot of spice, and it even went into Verte Anaconda to summon their own dragoons. So what a lot of people don't know is that you don't have to banish. You don't have to banish the monster that you summon. So I took his Torn Scales, he let that resolve, and then I banished the Magician's Rod that I had on the field along with his dragoons.
That's really funny.
He didn't see it coming. Yeah. He obviously thought, oh, he's gonna take the Torn Scales and then banish my Rusty Bardiche or whatever.
Yeah.
But card number 40 is Skill Drain. I hate this card, but it's so good. I think if you open this against most of the meta decks, you should be in a pretty good spot, except perhaps Virtual World. I think on-field effects are less important to that deck than, for example, Zodiac and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Like I remember when Virtual World first became meta, like people were actually maining this in Virtual World as well, since all the effects trigger in the hand anyway. So sadly,
it sounds like something OCG, is it? Or...
So 40 cards in the main deck?
Okay, there's my 40 cards in the main deck, yes. You can count them if you want.
No, I'm good, thanks. I believe you.
Yeah, we went through a couple of the extra deck cards that I really wanted to touch on during the main deck explanation, but there's a few more. Relinquished Anima. You summon him with any level 1 monster that's not a token, again, sadly, and he gets to absorb something that he points at, and he points upwards. So if your opponent puts something in column 2 or 4, that's yours. I especially like that since... yeah, it's free real estate. Since I'm a Cytec in Kaijus.
Yeah.
So game 2, it can blow the opponent out. Like you put a Kaiju in one of those zones, and then you can suck it up with the anima.
Sure. Then you can go like what's it called? Magician Souls go into the anima, I guess, and then free advantage.
Yeah. Also, he's a spellcaster, so you can use Secret to Dark Magic to fusion summon your Dark Magicians. Which is, it comes up sometimes, not all the time. One Weewitch Apprentice. I really like this card. It's I think a bit of nostalgia, but I really like cards that just increase attack. This used to be super relevant in Hip Hoshinigan used to be super relevant in Trickstars, so maybe that's why I like this card so much. It reminds me of the better days when, Light Stage wasn't at 1.
Yeah, and then Trickstar too good. That wasn't Orcust fault Trickstar. At all. Like.
Yeah. Fuck you, Alistair. We're also playing IP Masquerina. You notice that I'm playing quite a few extenders, so sometimes you'll have too many monsters. And also this is pretty decent for the late game. I used to play even more extenders, so then it was not uncommon to end on IP and proxy Verte Anaconda. Yeah. And then you could, in the opponent's turn, go for a Link 3 or a Link 4. I used to play Unchained Abomination, which is really cool in combination with Dragoon, because you negate and destroy with Dragoon. So then Unchained Abomination triggers and
can pop another
that's
card.
all fancy.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I play IP and to have some generic removal, play one each of the nightmares. Another spicy Yugi card is a Blackluster Soldier, of course.
This card is so good, to be honest. Against like random decks,
yeah.
when you can make this with a level 5 or higher, it's just randomly super strong.
Yes, and luckily you are playing a few level 5 or higher monsters, so that's nice.
Exactly.
Avramax, I've never summoned this, but I assume it's good. I've been thinking of cutting him and playing the Artemis, which is link 1. You can link any level 4 or lower spellcaster into this. So if you want your Magician's Rod in the graveyard to have the recursion effect, that's nice. She's also a spellcaster, so you can tribute her to add back the rod.
Yeah, that seems
that's
pretty strong.
Probably a change I'd be willing to make. And then, the spice. Thanks to TrifGaming, I'm playing Celine in the deck. Because, I'm playing a lot of spellcasters.
Pendulum best deck!
A lot of extenders. Between Pendulum and Magician is the better part of Pendulum Magician. I don't know. So it gains a lot of spell counters. It special summons any spellcaster from a graveyard. And you know who's also a spellcaster?
Dark Magician?
Dragoon.
Whoa. That is true.
So that comes up sometimes. One time I was playing against Dinos. I think it was Dinos. And I had Celine with tons of spell counters, so I was like, I can leave her on the field for a bit and chill a bit longer. And in his turn, I used Celine to bring back the Dragoon, and he tried to triple tactic talents it and switch it to attack, but you can't because it's summoned that turn. And it also has no fusion materials used for it when you bring it back with Celine, so that was pretty useless. And of course, you play Celine, so you have to play Access Code Talker. In previous builds, I used to play the Gamma package with Emergency Teleport and then also Needle Fiber to go into the Celine with Effect Failure, but that was a bit too much of the good stuff.
Yeah, it's too much wombo combo for the Dark Magician deck.
Can't combo too hard. Speaking of not comboing too hard, the side deck. Summon limits? I used to play Gozen Match.
Yeah.
It's... Okay, you win this one. I used to play Gozen Match for the longest time, but when I was trying out the Dogmatica package, you can't side Gozen Match into Dark Magician Dogmatica because it conflicts. So I thought I could side Summon Limits, and then I got paired against Drytron, and then I noticed, I can side in Summon Limits against Drytron when going first. Whereas you wouldn't be able to side in Gozen Match, so I think I'm gonna keep this one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm playing triple Droll Unlock. I'm not sure whether it's the right call. Could also play like stuff like Droll Unlock. Wait, that's DD Crow.
You meant DD Crow, yeah.
Your Droll Unlock. You know which bird I meant. Should it be Skullmeister? Should it be Ghost Bell? I don't know. For now, it's DD Crow because with the new rulings,
it is quite a bit better than it was
hits a lot
before.
more stuff than it used to be.
Yeah.
Our side deck cards are Pancratops. He's big, he's strong, he's level 7. Yeah. Even though we're not playing any rank 7 shenanigans, he's pretty cool. Callback Grave, surprisingly strong this format. If you're not making it, I think you should be siding this format.
I agree.
The third Cosmic Cyclone for back row decks like Eldlich, I guess. There's the Phantom Knights. There's a lot of stuff where you really want the third Cosmic Cyclone to come in. So it's nice to have. The Feather Duster instead of Dark Magic Attack.
Rip.
I'm not spicy enough to. The thing with Dark Magic Attack is that you need to control the Dark Magician himself, which is not always gonna be the case.
Yeah, you already have to be in the game, basically.
Like if you control Dark Magician, you're not gonna lose anyway. So this is the backup. Backup Feather Duster.
Fair enough.
Like a lot of people are super hyped about the Eye of Timaeus, but you need to be able to have Dark Magician on your field to use that. And turn 1, that's really hard. I'd rather go for the Fertig Anaconda play to make Dragoons. That last 2 cards in the side deck, wasn't sure about this. Crackdown. I played it in the logic of you can steal cards like Vanity's Ruler and stuff, but I don't think it's worth playing just for that. I might be playing more hand traps instead of it. Still some time to test before the Remote Tool Extravaganza, of course.
Yeah, that's next week, right?
Yeah, not this weekend, but next weekend. So there's a few changes that I have in mind that I am probably going to make, like swapping out Dark Magician Wheel for the mana, putting in the Artemis.
Yeah.
I'm considering Magicalized Fusion, which is also an interesting tech. But
Yeah, I love that card. I'm not sure if you know, but I played it at the last extravaganza on my Phantom Knight deck.
oh, to have the second target to send for Verti Anaconda.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you meant to summon the Dark Magicians, but that's fine as well.
So yeah, that was
You're
the
the
deck I
Phantom
kept.
Knight guy. You're the Phantom Knight guy. You should try to play Red Eye Slash Dragon in your extra deck, because you can send Phantom Knights with Red Eye's Fusion.
Broken.
So bad. No, I think that was it for Dark Magician deck. Sorry for making a mess and not going monster spell traps, but I thought that
I like it way better than
doing
this.
some
Like, yeah, just it's better, right? Where you just explain cards when they come up in your explanation instead of just randomly explaining cards when they come up in your pile of cards, I guess. So I prefer it this way anyway. And I hope the audience does as well, but who knows, maybe they'll be like, oh man, horrible Pow, why does he explain it like this? I want my monsters, spells and traps in that order. Who knows?
Yes,
Who
but
knows?
as a wise man once said, I am more important than the cards. So shout out
That
to
is
Wietse.
definitely sure. Shout out to Wietse Kluitenberg. Evan chat. Okay, Ryan, any last words you want to say before we, end this?
This deck is so much better than Blue Eyes. If any Blue Eyes players want to, fight me for this, hit me up. Play in the extravaganza. We'll see
Let me
each
know in
other
the
on
comments,
table.
guys, and I'll set up a match where you can decide what the better anime deck is. Yep. Well, thanks for that, Ryan. I really enjoyed your deck profile. Hopefully, we'll see you maybe even next week if you manage to, top the extravaganza. Who knows? And then
I
maybe we
might
can
top
do
win a
like
match.
maybe we can revisit this. Yeah, thanks, Ryan. This was just boosters with Ryan's Dark Magician deck. If you did enjoy the video and want to see more like this, please let me know in the comments. And of course, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Bye, guys.